Now let's be frank. Handling booking of appointments can be quite a task, time consuming and repetitive. What if your business could handle all this mess round the clock on autopilot? I mean, just imagine the efficiency of taking in appointments, whether it's day, night, weekends, holidays, or even past your working hours. What would this mean to your business? Well, it simply means more bookings and more business. Therefore, I sought to build an AI phone caller that's able to handle booking appointments on your behalf. And here's a demo.
Welcome to Pro Marketers. How can I help you today?
Okay, I'd like to get started with your marketing services. How do I get started?
Awesome. We'd love to help you out. First, I'll need to get a few details from you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. Let's start with your name. What's your name?
My name is John Smith.
Nice to meet you, John. What's your email address?
My email is john@gmail.com.
Got it. And your phone number?
My phone number is 0755151351.
Thanks, John. What's the name of your company? And could you please spell it out for me?
Now it's simple. Our company is Technology Experts.
Got it. Just to confirm, your name is John Smith. Your email is john@gmail.com. Your phone number is 0755151351. And your company name is Technology Experts. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome, John. I'll just need a few more details from you. What are your primary business goals for the next 6 to 12 months?
Okay, so last month we launched a software. So our primary goal is to drive as much traffic to that software as possible so that we can get it in the hands of the consumer.
Got it. And what challenges are you facing with your current social media efforts?
Well, I could say mainly it's because our team is very busy. So there's that lack of consistency where we need to be consistent with our marketing and our posting on socials, but we're not able to keep up.
I understand. That can be quite challenging. Have you run any social media marketing campaigns in the past? If so, what results did you get?
Okay, so I wouldn't really call it a campaign. So last year we ran some ads for a week and we actually lost all the money.
I see. Have you worked with a marketing agency before? If so, what was your experience working with them?
Actually, this would be our first time.
All right. There's always a first time for everything. Do you have a timeline for when you'd want to see results?
Well, I mean, if we could start getting results within the first week, that would be awesome, honestly.
Got it. We'll do our best to help you achieve that. When would you like to book your appointment?
Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Does that work?
Awesome. Let me book you in for an appointment. Awesome, John. You're all set for tomorrow at 11 a.m. See you then.
Goodbye. Thank you.
You're welcome, John. Have a great day. Goodbye.
So as you can see here, you can see the appointment has been booked for 11 a.m. tomorrow. So you can see today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday, so at 11 a.m. appointment has been booked. So here you can notice that the record has just entered into Airtable. So once the AI has obtained all the details from the customer, we save it into our database and send an email to our staff members telling them that there's a new appointment booked. So you can see the name, email, phone, company, the summary of what they want. You can see here, John Smith from Technology Experts is looking to drive more traffic to their newly launched software. They face challenges with consistency in their social media due to a busy team. They have run ads in the past but lost money and have not worked with a marketing agency before. They hope to see results within the first week. Then here on emails, you can see that a new email entered, and that's new client appointment. It's saying there's a new appointment booking. Here are the details, customer name, email, phone number, all that. Okay, so that's in place. Now, such a system is quite powerful, and you're asking me, why is that? It's because you can imagine if your business is available 24/7 to take in appointments. So whether your customer is calling you from a different country and at their country it's at night and it's during the day, or I mean, it's meant to be vice versa. At their country it's during the day and yours is during the night. So if they want to book at that time, does it mean that because you're not available you miss the deal? Well, with this system it means around the clock, whether it's day, whether it's night, anytime you can take in appointments, which is awesome. And now you're asking me, how do you get into building one yourself? Let me show you. So we're building the voice bot over on Vapi. So if you're not familiar with Vapi, Vapi is like, I'd say the best voice bot building platform out there. Arguably, I could say there are other good ones like Retail AI, but I prefer Vapi. So if you don't have an account, go ahead and search vapi.ai. It's quite simple. So vapi.ai, create an account, log into your dashboard, and you'll arrive at something like this. If it's your first time building a voice bot, this side will be empty on yours, so you'll click on create assistant. But in this case, I'll take you through what I've already developed, and you can be able to understand what went through my mind when I was doing that. So first of all, it starts with a welcoming message. Hey, welcome to Pro Marketers. How can I help you today? Then the critical part is the system prompt. If you're familiar, like building voice bots, 90% of the time you're going to be spending on the system prompt. So you test it this time, notice it didn't work in a specific aspect. You go back to your system prompt, tweak it, test it again, notice something wrong, go back, tweak it. Like, it's a back and forth process, but it's worth it because at the end of the day you get something solid. So boiler template when starting a voice bot system prompt is you'll always have, whenever you see hashtag role, hashtag something, this is like the skeleton of starting building your prompt. So before I start building any prompt, I always have this in place. Hashtag role, hashtag task, then the context of the business, about the business, some examples on the business, and some notes down here. So there's a part I've left out, which is here on the context. I would also have something like what the business does. So hashtag what we do. And this is all to give the AI more context in regard to our business. But in this case, this is enough. So I'll remove that. And also another part that I've left out is after the task here, we normally have another title, which is specifics. So hashtag specifics. And what this does is it gives the AI more details on the task at hand. So you'll give the task up here, but now down here you'll give more specifics on the task at hand. But in this case, I've jammed it all in this section, so that's okay. So enough of me rambling, let me go through the prompt. So we first start with the role. You're a helpful, enthusiastic customer support agent of Pro Marketers. Your role is to obtain necessary details from the customer and book the customer in for an appointment. So that's the role. The task is to obtain the following details from the customer: customer name, customer email, phone number, and their company name. You're then to ask the customer the following questions to better understand their situation. What are their primary business goals for the next 6 to 12 months? What challenges are they facing with their current social media efforts? Have they run any social media ads before? And if so, what results did they get? Have they worked with a marketing agency before? And if so, what experience working with them? And do they have any timeline of when they'd want to start seeing results when they start working with us? So the important part here is we're trying to get as many details as possible from the customer so that when our sales team ends up hopping on the call with the customer, they already have details on the customer's pain points, their past experience with running ads, and this helps in closing them so that you're not jumping on the meeting with just a vague idea of this is the name of the customer and they come from this company, but you don't know any other details on them. So this is why the voice bot comes in very handy. Well, arguably you could say that a customer can easily self-book in the appointment by just sending them a booking link. But the thing with this is you're not able to get those necessary details that your sales team can leverage when closing the deal. So you notice with the voice bot, it's able to go back and forth with the customer to gain further details on the pain point the customer has, which is very helpful to gain as much details as possible before hopping on the call with the customer. And also it helps because you're able to qualify the customer so that you're not hopping on a call with a customer who's not qualified. So the voice bot can also handle qualifying the customer. So next, after obtaining all details, summarize it all into a single paragraph to be saved when booking the appointment. Do not dare read the summary back to the user. That's for our backend team. So this is some cautioning I was giving it because I noticed after collecting all the required details, it gives a summary back to the user. But the only summary we want it to give is when stating back these customer details, like their name, email, phone number, and their company. That's what we need the customer to confirm back to us. But in regard to these other details on their business goals, pain points, this we're summarizing for our sales team to have in the back end. So context in regard to the business, I'll be honest, this I generated with ChatGPT. But in this section, you jam in like things that customer might ask in regard to the business, where the business is located, the services they do. All that context is nice to have and provide to the AI so that it can give more relevant responses. Then we go into the next section, which is the examples. In the examples, you tend to have, let's say, 1 or 2 examples. In this case, I have 1, but when building an actual voice bot for a client, I'd have 2 examples. And an example is just like a script of an actual back and forth conversation between the AI and the customer. So in this case, you can pause and read through the entirety of it, but it's just simple, like customer says this, the AI will say this. Customer says this, the AI will say this. Pause and read through this script. You can come up with your own, preferably. But the critical part here is where we tell the AI in regard to function calling. So down here, once AI has collected all the details, it will be like, we can definitely help with that. Let's book you in for a meeting. When do you suggest? And the customer will be like, I'm not sure. Let's go with tomorrow at, let's say, 12 a.m. Not 12 a.m., 12 p.m. So from there is we tell the AI, run the booking function. So with all the details is collected, it will send the details over to make.com. So we are booking the appointment using make.com. So here's where we tell the AI on function calling. Then once the function is run, we'll just state it back that the meeting has been booked for that specific day. And yeah, goodbye. Then here on the notes is where you'll jam in all those tweaks that you want the AI to work on. So when you test the voice bot, notice this time it was, let's say, messing up some, whatever it is. Here you'll come in and add in and tell it, ensure to do this, this and that. And when you continue testing the voice bot, here's where this section will actually get so jammed up, because you'll continue tweaking and altering the prompt based on your interaction with the voice bot. Okay, so in the notes I add, after obtaining the customer's name, email, phone number, and all that, ensure to confirm the details with them before proceeding with the other questions. Ensure to confirm spelling of the company name. So this is what I noticed. It would misspell my company name, not misspell, like mispronounce my company name, which in this case is Big Grip, and it will say something like Vegrip. So we want it to like confirm the spelling back to the user. Then when generating responses, aim for a casual and conversational tone. Think of how you might talk to a friend in a relaxed setting. So this is like, I normally call it seasoning that I sprinkle into any prompt that I build for a voice bot. I normally just paste in this as is. So on your side, you can just copy this or screenshot it and use it in any voice bot you build. It's going to make the conversation more human-like, more conversational, not robotic, okay? So you can pause and read through that. Then finally, I tell it, ensure to only ask one question at a time. This is extremely critical. So this is, I noticed, when it would start asking me questions, it will just jam it all in, asking me question after question after question, and not giving me time to respond one at a time. So this is just cautioning on that. Then notice here I add, this is extremely critical. This is what we call emotion prompting when prompting an AI. Is where you say statements like, this is extremely critical to the success of our business. This is extremely vital for us to grow in our company, and we really appreciate like you taking your time to like give us the best results. Like you're noticing you're becoming emotional with this. And study has shown that actually having such emotion prompts within your system prompt helps in getting better results from the AI, such that it's able to take keener attention to give better results. So leverage that. Now, in regard to the AI model that's powering the voice bot, we're going with GPT-4o. I would arguably say that it's the best AI model for voice bots. It has a nice balance between its complexity in terms of how clever it is, and how fast it is in giving responses. So normally it's a give or take. An AI model can be very fast but not as smart, and those models that are very smart, they tend to be less fast. But in this case, GPT-4o is more balanced, so I'd advise to go for that. Then on the knowledge base, we don't have any data we want the AI to reference, so in this case we leave it as empty. But if you had any FAQs or data like a PDF containing the marketing company services, in this case we are working with a marketing company, but in your business, whatever data you have that the customer might ask on, it's good to have it here. Okay, then in regard to the temperature, we leave it at default. Temperature is just how creative do you want the AI to be. The higher it is, the more creative it is, therefore its responses are going to be more random. It can be a bad thing sometimes because it's going to hallucinate more, but in this case I'll just leave it at 0.4. Then transcriber, I leave it at default. Transcriber is like the speech to text model. I leave it at default. Voice, I leave it at the default, but in this case we're able to have a voice that's more geared to your accent. So if you're in the US, we're able to have a voice for the US. If you're in Australia, we're able to have that. And the best part is working with a voice provider called 11 Labs. We're even able to customize the voice to be your own voice. So let's say you want just to be, let's say you want to use your voice for the customer support part, you can actually clone your voice using 11 Labs and connect it to your voice bot through here. So if I click here, you can see 11 Labs. So here on the function is a very critical part, because this is what will handle like the functionality the voice bot should handle during the call. So to create a tool, just go and click on Tools tab over here. Then you'll create a new tool. So the tool, I'm building it with make.com, and the tool's purpose is just booking in the appointment. So for this, I'll click on Custom Tool over here. In your case, you can go ahead and click on Make, but I'd advise just go with Custom Tool. Why is this? This is because we want it to be easy when we want to work with different tool building platforms. In this case, I'm building the tool using make.com. But if I'm working with a different business, they could want to use Zapier, which is a competitor to Make, or N8N, which is another competitor. If I decided to go with the custom integration for Make, in that case, I'd have to go through a long process to reconfigure things if I later down the road decide to switch to Zapier. But in this case, if I go with just the custom tool section, I'm able to just easily switch and work with make.com or Zapier or N8N, but just simply switching the webhook URL. But if I go with the built-in make.com integration, it's going to be some process to switch things. Okay, so here in custom tool, you need to paste in your server URL. This you get in make.com. So I'll provide access to the scenario that's make.com scenario that's booking in the appointment, so that you can just download and replicate it into your Make scenario. But for that, let me go to the Make scenario and explain it. So here I have the Make scenario. It starts with a simple trigger module, and the trigger is what will provide us with the webhook URL. So go ahead, and if you haven't added a webhook, click add and just click OK. Then copy address to clipboard, then go back to Vapi and paste it in. So here I go ahead and paste it in, then I click save, then click next. Then here's where I define the variables I need in order to book in the appointment. So I might need the customer name, so I'll put that there. Then the description for that is, this is the customer's name. Can I really type? Customer's name. Then you want to select the data type. In this case, it's a string. Then click save. Then add another property. In this case, I want to collect the email, customer email. Then I say, this is the customer's email address. What's wrong with my typing today? Come on. So it's a string, then click save. Then you can add the phone number. This is the customer's phone number. Honestly, today, guys, bear with me. It's like I'm getting a bit tired here, so my typing is tweaking. So that's the number, save. Then another property is the company name. This is the company's name. So notice the descriptions are just simple and direct to the point. You don't want to jam in here a lot of words just to explain what the variable is. you're risking having the AI not extract the variable as intended to. So just go straight to the point, tell it this is just the customer's full name, this is just the email, and the AI is able to handle that. So it's a string. I'll click save. Then another property I want to add is the appointment time, and this is the time the customer wants to book the appointment. Then in this case it's just a string, so I'll click save. Then finally, the final property is the summary of their situation. So you remember in the demo the AI was asking me questions like pain points, my business goals, and all that. So the AI will summarize all that, then save it to this variable, which is situation summary. So let's call it situation summary or something. This is a summary of the customer situation, pain points, goals, etc. So that's going to be a string. Click save. Then we move on. Click next. Then we give the tool a name. In this case, I'll just call it booking. Then the description for the tool is something like this tool works to book in an appointment for the customer. That's simple. So don't jam in a lot of words to explain something simple. Then here is where you add things like when the tool is being called currently, what should the AI say? When the tool is currently being executed, so like let's say there's a delay, we don't want the customer to assume that the AI has gone off the call. So we'll say something like there's been a delay, all that. So start message could be awesome, let me book you in for an appointment. The delay could be sorry for the delay, I'm working to finalize your booking. Here on the success message, leave it as blank. So you want it to give the response based on the result of the execution. So if it failed, it needs to be able to say it's a failure. If it succeeded, it needs to be able to say that. Okay, so leave that as is. If there's an error, it should just say sorry for the inconvenience, but I'm having trouble to book you in for the appointment. Kindly try again later. Just that. Then you'll click create. So once you've created your tool, to attach it to your assistant, click on assistants here, then go to your functions tab and add it appropriately. So I'll go to functions, click on this functions drop down, then I'll select the tool that I want to add. Notice I already had a booking function, so I'll just unselect the one I created. Then once you add the tool, you want to click on publish. Just that. So whatever changes you do on your voice bot, ensure you click publish before testing it out. Then we don't have any other details on the advanced section. Here just leave everything at default, and in the analysis. In a future video, I'll go through these tabs because it gives you more level of customization. But in this case, since I wanted it to be a beginner basic tutorial, I won't go much into this. And yeah, that's it. So that's how you're able to build this voice bot. Now coming here to make.com, just to explain what exactly the scenario is doing to be able to book in the appointment. It gets the data from VAPI, and the data comes in this form. When I click on the message here, then I go to tool calls, I'm able to see the variables that come in. So function, it's a long tree. I don't know why they had to make it this long, but you can see the company name, customer name, email, phone number comes in, the appointment time, and the summary. And the summary comes in something like this. John Smith from Technology Experts is looking to drive traffic to their newly launched software. They face challenges with consistency in their social media efforts due to a busy team. They have run ads in the past but lost money and have not worked with a marketing agency before. They hope to see results within the first week. So that's a summary that our sales team will use and learn about before hopping on the call with the customer, in order to increase the chances they actually close the deal. So that's the data that comes in from VAPI. Then we have an AI step that's able to extract the exact date and time that they want to book in the appointment. Because the date and time is coming in simple English, like tomorrow at 10 a.m. or next week Monday at 11 a.m. We want to be able to book in the appointment, we need the ISO format of the date. So something like this. So have you ever seen something like 2024-03- whatever, then there's like this a long date format. I'll show you how it works, but just coming here, let me click on the module. You'll go ahead and connect to your OpenAI account. I have so many videos on that, and you can just click on this to get help on that. Online help. What you'll need is you'll need an API key from your OpenAI account. If you don't have one, go ahead and create an account, then create an API key, which will come and paste in here. So when you click add connection, you'll see somewhere show advanced settings, then you'll paste in your API key and your organization ID also. So that's critical. once you connect, we want to create a chat completion. So the module is on creating a chat completion. The model will just go with the basic GPT-3.5 Turbo. Then in the system prompt, we tell it we're just from asking the customer what time they would want to book the appointment. You'll be provided with the current date and their response. You must output the date and time they want the appointment in date-time format. And now this is the long format that we want. You can see date format is ISO 8601. An example is this 2024 or 08, all that. And yeah, so we continue in the user. We tell the AI this is the current date and time. Then we want to format it in a certain way. So we use a function built into make call format date. It will take in the current time. So this is a built-in variable containing the current time that the scenario is being run. Then we transform it into daytime format where Kenya, Nairobi is the time zone. Okay. So here's the customer's response on their desired appointment date and time. Then we put it in. Then wait for the AI to come up with to extract the actual date and time. So I'll click on OK to save that. So next here we have a module to check the availability of the time slot. So in this case, go ahead and configure your Google Calendar. Just connect to your Google account. If you need help with that, just click online help here. It's quite simple. Okay. So what this module does is it checks between a minimum time and a maximum time. Let's say between 11 and 11:30 a.m. Okay. So because our meetings are actually 30 minutes. So it checks between 11 and 11:30. Is that time slot booked? So if it's booked, it's going to return and say that this slot has been booked. Therefore, we can't proceed with booking in that time. So for that, you can see minimum time is the time the customer has said, so something like tomorrow at 11 a.m. Then the maximum time is 11 a.m. plus 30 minutes. So it will check between 11 and 11:30. Is that time slot available? So that's the question it's asking. Then it will go here to a router, and the router will perform various functions. The first one is to book in the meeting. Next one is to save the record to our Airtable database. And finally is to send an email to our team just telling them that customer so-and-so has just booked in an appointment. Okay. So here we have a filter that will check whatever is coming from this module. If it's empty, means that that time slot is free. But if it's not empty, means that that time slot has been booked. So in that case, we proceed accordingly. So in this case, you can see is that variable which is busy and it's an array. It checks if it's empty. Okay. And just to check the actual condition, you can see here's the actual detail. Then it checks does not exist. So if it does not exist, means that it's empty. Then proceed with booking the appointment. Okay. So here it will go ahead and create an event on our Google Calendar with a specific title of appointment, then the customer's name. Then the start date is just going to be the date ISO format that we extract from the AI based on what the user asked. Okay. Then that's okay. Then once that's booked, we send a webhook response back to VAPI telling them, awesome, your appointment has been booked. And notice this is a structure you always have to do when sending back a response from a tool call. So that VAPI is able to give back or mention back to the user the result of the tool execution. You need to have it in this specific format. And this is available in VAPI's documentation, so you can check that out. But in this case, just ensure that's in place. And the tool call ID is extremely critical. And we get this from the very first module that's getting the data from VAPI. Okay. And this is so that VAPI can know that this response that's coming back from make.com is as a result of this specific tool call. Okay. Because you could be having several tools within your voice bot assistant. You want each response to go to the necessary tool. Okay. So that's in place. Click OK. That's in place. Airtable is simple. You'll just need your access token. So you'll go to Airtable. I've done so many tutorials on this, but if you need help, just go online and search how to connect Airtable to make.com. You'll just need your access token. So once that's in place, we want to save the details accordingly. So just to show you our Airtable, so you're able to see here the details that enter in. So we have a table. The database is called Pro Marketers and the table is meetings. Then the columns that we have in our table is customer name, email, phone number, company name, situation summary, and the meeting time. Okay. So once that's in place, To be able to connect your Airtable, just click on your profile here, build a hub, then go ahead and create an access token. I don't want to go through these specific steps, otherwise the video will be too long. But once you connect your Airtable, you should be able to add in the details accordingly. So then the final module is sending an email to our team telling them that customer so and so has just booked in an appointment. I'm sure you've already connected your Google account. Then it's being sent to a specific email address of our team members. Then the subject is that, and the email content is just everything we get back from the actual phone call. Okay, so that's in place, and that's how you're able to automate booking in the appointments. And yeah, that's it. That's how you're able to build a voice bot that's able to automate handling your phone calls, handling booking in appointments on your behalf. This is extremely vital for your business if you're looking to grow, because you don't want to be unavailable when your customer is available to book in the appointment. So if you can imagine, anytime, whether it's day, night, weekend, holiday, if you're available to take in appointment bookings, you're definitely going to book in more appointments. Because the thing is, with a customer, if they call you right now to book in an appointment, you're not available, like they forget. Things happen in life, they'll forget to book in the appointment later. So you lose that deal. But if they call some other business, a competitor, and the competitor picks the call immediately and books the appointment immediately, then the competitor wins the business. So you want to ensure you're available whatever time at the customer's convenience. This ensures you're booking in more appointments, which results in more business for your business. So if you want to work with our team to build such powerful AI systems, whether it's an AI phone caller or voice bot, depending on what you want to call it, or you want to build an AI chatbot, or any workflow automations to automate repetitive tasks and processes within your business, you're able to click the link within the description to book in a meeting with our team. So that will lead you to our website, booking a meeting with our team, and looking forward to that. Anyways, I could continue rambling all day, but till next time, stay servy. Peace.